All right, guys, today we welcome you to a very special Shellonomics. We are joined by our good friend, as always, TMNT Dare Talk. We're talking the original trilogy of movies here, guys. We have covered everything in the theater, saga, except for these three. And also, if you stick around for the end of this video, Christian and I are going to break down our own top 10 tier list, ranking every single movie from 10 to the top of the charts. So before we get there, first movie is very, very special to me, and the reason is I got to see this when I was a kid in theaters. I was super hyped from it. I knew it was coming out. I didn't really know the Jim Henson thing as a kid, but Christian, what was your initial reaction when you first saw the trailer for this first movie?
I cannot really say, I gotta be honest here. I was not able to see this movie in theater.
Oh,
Yes,
man.
that's one of my biggest regrets. But yeah, I think my mother thought that I was too young for it. I mean, when it came out, I was 8, so she probably thought that I was too young for it. It was too gritty, too dark. So I only caught it when it came to VHS. But then I checked it out, and I pretty much was fascinated by it because I only knew of the cartoon. I was a big fan of the cartoon then, and this was so different. And yeah, it was pretty fascinating back then. I know.
Yeah, it's just funny how it still stands out to this day. As well, we'll find out on your list, but on my list, it might be the greatest of the Ninja Turtle movies. So, the research will show that, this is credit to Mark Friedman, right? This is the man who wanted the movie to be different than the TV show. Isn't that correct?
Yeah, I mean, it was Mark Friedman who was the licensing guy behind it all. Yeah, they when they approached the director Steve Barron, and he really was into the comics. He wanted to do a comic book movie. I know that he took the comics apart and said, that's our storyboard. We can take it straight from the comics, and that's what they wanted to do. Peter Laird, Kevin Eastman, they really wanted to see their comics on the big screen. They didn't want the cartoon. They wanted to see the comic brought to life. I mean, yes, of course, there's some stuff from the TV show in it, like the bandanas, the different colored bandanas, or the pizza, and that's totally fine. They really made a great mix of it all. So yeah, they really wanted to do something different that's just different from the cartoon. And if nobody really wanted to do this movie. They approached all the big studios and no one wanted to do it. It was a big risk for everyone, even though the TV show was a big hit. But they also thought, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, come on, that's never gonna sell. Yeah, nowadays we know that was the biggest hit of the year. It was the biggest independent movie ever until Blair Witch Project. So it was this movie to this day. It's really something special, and it still holds up to this day. And it's a masterpiece, in my opinion. Really, it is a masterpiece, and everything in it just works. It has heart, it has humor, it has action, and if you just check out the behind the scenes stuff, it's incredible what they did with this movie, with the costumes, with everything what they had to go through to create this movie. Yeah, it is. You cannot say enough good things about this movie, in my opinion.
Yeah, there was just so much. I think the best word to describe this movie, if I had to describe it in one word, it would be magic. Because everything fell into place just like magic. Pretty much like you said, nobody really believed in the project except for those behind it. Mainstream, because me and you both know when something becomes mainstream, sometimes it's not as good because they have to fill different shoes. There's tons of bands where you like them when they started out as, garage bands. They're a heavier, passionate brand. And then when they get more popular, they have to change. And that happens with a lot of companies and a lot of, products. So for this movie to be where it is, this is over 35 years old now. And it's still talked about this day as the greatest film. Now, I want to actually know, too, before we break down the movie, You do have kids, I don't, but what do your kids think of this movie? Just because I'm curious to see if you were, again, your family knows Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is, family, and then Turtles is right underneath them when it comes to priorities. So I'm curious to see, like, were you excited to see, like, were your children, were they in awe of this movie, or how were they, take us through that?
Yeah, when I first showed it to them, they really had fun with it. They really enjoyed it. They really liked it. Um, it was not like that's scary or anything. They really had just fun with it. They really, I don't know how I should put it. Even though it's like it's 35 years old, they still thought it was fun. The turtles, they were cool. Uh, they just had fun with it, and that's I really enjoyed it that they liked it, because with other stuff I know, I mean, my kids, they like watched the Harry Potter movies and they loved them, and then I tried to show them the classic Star Wars movies, couldn't get them into it. They're like, nah, that's not. Nah. After like half an hour, they're like, okay, we go somewhere else. You can enjoy a Star Wars movie. And I go, but with Turtles, that made me happy that they like stayed with it, and we watched all three movies together, and they enjoyed it, and that really made me happy.
Oh yeah, it just because now we have a list of 10 movies. Today we're only breaking down 3 because we have covered the others, and I'll be honest here. Out of the 10 here, there are, for me at least, you would probably on just about all 10 of them. For me, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would say 6 of them I can get emotionally invested in. And that, in my opinion, is what television and movies and even books are supposed to be able to do. They're supposed to give you the gift of imagination and believing you are there feeling this. I want to feel something when I'm watching a good movie. Make me cry, make me laugh, make me get pissed off. And this movie does it with all 3. I mean, we'll talk about it. We're going to have Christian in less than 5 minutes break this down for us. But just to set the stage now, special this movie is to me. So, like I've said it before in other podcasts, but I don't know if you've heard this one yet, Christian. So my father knew I was a big Turtle fan, and my brother was too. So he wanted to take us to this. We went on a Saturday morning, matinees. Back even in the 90s, movie theaters weren't really selling out back then. But for this movie, it's just like they always say in every documentary you've seen with this movie. Dude, the line was packed. And I still remember that as a kid. I was in my dad's car looking out the window, and there were just loads and loads of people outside this theater. It was almost like we live in Chicago. Like Michael Jordan was signing an autograph. It was just such a humongous crowd. And my dad's like, guys, I'm sorry. I don't think we're going to be able to get in here. So as a nice parting gift, as being a good dad that my father was, Burger King was right across the street. So we went to Burger King, and he got us, do you remember the Kids Club videos for the cartoon? Yeah, so he took us there. I still remember the chocolate shake, and we got April Foolish as a cartoon. So I couldn't even see it the day it came, opening weekend. Then the following week, my godmother, who is in California now, knew I loved Turtles. I don't think she knew anything about them, but she knew I really wanted to see it. She took us, and obviously it's very hard to remember stuff when you're 30 plus years now, but I just vaguely remember in the movie theater just a lot of yelling and a lot of screaming, because Raphael does get pissed off in this movie, and that sticks with you when you're a little kid watching that. When he's yelling in the sewer, chucking away. And I remember the Splinter Pizza Head. That's also in the trailer, but I remember seeing that in the theater. And just the Shredder fight when he does when Raphael says I got him and he swings the bow. Those are the 3 that stick out for me. Way back when I saw this as a kid, the trailer just is. I love watching the trailer before I watch this movie. I don't know if people do that nowadays, because you really don't need to, but the trailer just gets me hooked. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, different color for each word, just like the cartoon. Awesome. The trailer is good. Tatsu, attack. Just different little voices. I wanted to ask you too, is some of these scenes were deleted because there's that spot where the turtles pop up. They do it in the second movie, but it was supposed to be in the first one, and that sewer cover pops off. So I don't know if you have any sources, because you do a lot more homework than I do when it comes to Turtles with your podcast, but any reason why those did not make the cut? Because you remember what I'm talking about in the trailer, right?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I know what you mean. I mean, there are a lot of stuff that got cut out. I mean, nowadays we have like we just got the 4K trilogy from Arrow Videos where we have all this stuff on it, like the ending scene when April and Danny go to the comic publisher. You know the whole thing where they try to sell the turtle story to them. That got cut, and there are some things that just cut. I don't think there's a like a particular reason for it. It's like in movies, like stuff just gets cut because it gets too long or it just feels too long-winded. So they have to cut out some stuff to like make the movie flow faster so that there's no downtime or anything. So I think that's maybe the reason that they just cut out stuff like this. Um, but yeah, I mean, after all, the movie isn't really long. It's like 90 minutes, and but it just flows so well. And I think that's also thanks to some stuff that got cut. I mean, I love seeing stuff that got cut afterwards, like some cut scenes, like on DVD or something. But um, I think it's okay to sometimes cut stuff out of a movie, and yeah, sometimes you have to do it. I mean, it's cool to see it like in a trailer, but yeah, it's when I was watching the movie, I was never thinking like, I'm missing a scene here. So I guess that's fine, but I don't think there's like a particular reason for some scene that got cut here.
No, I agree. The only things I would have liked to see, like Michelle Ivy on our first podcast here talked, is I wanted to see more of the farmhouse scene. Besides that, though, everything else is fine that was not there. If you watch the 35th anniversary special in theaters, thanks to the documentary that's going to be coming out, another one, they had some dailies that they call them, and they show, just like in the movie comic adaptation, Casey Jones actually had a spot where he's sitting there watching TV before he finds Raphael. I feel that was okay to cut out. I don't think that was necessary because I like the debut of Casey just coming in, shoving people. It's like, whoa, who's this dude? Because I didn't read the comics, and Casey Jones to me was only in like 2 episodes, so I didn't really get to know who this dude was, and I thought he was a bad guy when they were fighting as a kid. So, feel free to set the stage as to what happens in this movie, and then we'll go back and forth on what we would change, if anything, and some of your favorite parts.
Okay, try to give it a short little rundown here. Okay, there's a crime wave in New York. Yeah, people are stealing stuff left and right. There's like this gang called the Foot Clan out there, and a reporter, April O'Neil, is investigating this whole thing. And during all this, she runs into four mutant turtles, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and their master Splinter. And yeah, at first, of course, she doesn't know what to make of them, but they become friends very fast. And but when the Foot Clan attacks the turtles' lair and kidnaps Splinter, the turtles go back to April, and then Raphael also meets another guy, a hockey wearing vigilante called Casey Jones. And yeah, but then the Foot Clan attacks April's place. There's a big fire. Raphael gets hurt really bad. The turtles, April and Casey, they have to escape to a farmhouse that belongs to April's family. There they relax and yeah heal. And when they are ready, they're training. During all this, they contact Splinter through meditation and see that he is still alive. So they go back to New York to confront the Foot Clan and their leader, the Shredder, once and for all, which they do. Where well, when the Foot Clan finds out the turtles are back, they get attacked. There's a big fight scene, and in the end, they're on the top of the roof on a rooftop. There's a big fight with the Shredder himself, who turns out to be Orokusaki, who was the killer of Splinter's master Hamato Yoshi and his wife Tang Shen. So there's a fight, and in the end, Shredder falls down into the garbage truck and gets apparently killed. So the crime wave is over. The turtles save the city, even though nobody finds out about it. And well, April and Casey, they get closer to each other. And yeah, that's pretty much with a cowabunga, the movie ends then. And yeah, that's the first movie in a half shell, I gotta say.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, dude! Just so this is the movie out of everything. There's so many good movies out in our lifetime, right? Wizard of Oz, It's a Wonderful Life, Toy Story, Disney's Aladdin. The list goes on and on of movies that I watch a lot, more than once, and this is still number one for me. This one I watch whenever I feel like it. Whenever I used to feel sick as a kid, I would just always pop on this VHS tape and enjoy that. If I ever had a depressing day, either if something bad happened at school, or I don't know, like if something happened in life, just this was always my go-to. It was like, people have comfort food. This was my comfort movie, my good movie, my inspiration movie. It has everything. And before we get your favorite parts, I want to ask you, I'm pretty sure it's a definite no, but since we've aged, is it blind love for this movie for you? Because we've talked about the cartoon we grew up with, right? It was great for its time. But this movie, I feel, is timeless. I mean, if you watch, there's tons of reviews on this. There's tons of mistake videos on there, such as, the mouth of Donatello's one everyone likes. The hand with the skateboard. The, drawing a blank, there's one other. Oh, the TV not being plugged in that they steal. It's like, come on, you're really going to nitpick this? To me, these are minor and you can foresee them. So is it blind love that you still love this movie? Because I guarantee you're like me. You probably watch this movie at least anywhere between 5 to 15 times a year.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. No, I don't think. I mean, it's always hard for me to say something to think about these things because I'm just so in love with this movie, so in love with this franchise. So if I would take this out, if I would not have seen this movie as a kid, and if I would not be a TMNT fan, maybe I would see it different. And like would see it nowadays, I would still be I think fascinated by the technology behind it, like the costumes. I would still think, well, that's really good. How they can move in these heavy costumes and stuff. I would still think that's pretty cool. Um, but as I said, if I was not a TMNT fan, I would think that that's a good movie for its time, would still think it's entertaining. It's not boring or anything. Um, like it's like just some years ago, I watched actually the Batman movie from 1989. I was able to watch it for the first time. I did not see it as a kid. It was like just some years ago that I was finally able to see it. And I think it's like the same here because it's like, yeah, it's this old movie. We have now the modern Batman movies and stuff like this that I have to compare to it. So I see it like, okay, I still enjoyed. I still thought Batman 1989 was really cool. It was really good. The Joker by Jack Nicholson was really cool. But it's not like some people that grew up with it, like, this is a masterpiece. This is fantastic. This is great. It's really good. But maybe I would not say it's great or the best. But yes, as you said, for me, as someone who grew up with it, as someone who grew up with the Turtles and is a TMNT fan, still to this day, this is like the movie that I can watch over and over and over again, and I will never get tired of it. And yeah, even after the 115th time that I've watched it, I still see things that I maybe did not realize at first, like some little nitpicks in the background. Like, oh wait, there's like a Noid figure in the background or anything. Just funny little things. And this is just, as I said, for me, who knows this movie for over 30 years now, this is just a masterpiece, in my opinion. If people are out there like, no, it's actually not good, sorry, it is. Especially if you know like all this background information and how it got made. And yeah, I guess that's my opinion. For me, it's pretty flawless, I gotta say.
Yeah, I don't. Well, we've talked before about other movies and other TV shows. Hey, Rise, we call it the Donnie Show. We've called other movies the Raphael movie. This, you get every character. It does focus on Raph a smidge more, but that's how movies are. You have to go somewhere with like a lead character, so to speak. But everybody gets their part. Everybody gets their joke. I still think this is probably the greatest, besides the original comic, because that's where it all started. But this is my favorite Michelangelo out there. He can joke, he can be serious, he knows how to fight and handle himself. He fights Shredder the longest. No one's gonna ever. You can't debate that. You hear him up there on the rooftop longer than anybody, Christian. Nobody can debate me on that. We don't see it, but we hear him grunting the most. I wish I would have a camera up there to see what he was actually doing in that fight. But just my other favorite parts here I'll share, because I don't think we've ever got to really talk about this movie, is I'm the older brother, and when I see Leonardo staring at Raphael in the bathtub, that actually changed me. Because, as brothers, we fight. It happens. You see each other 24/7 when you're kids. It happens. But when I saw that, it was like, I'm going to make a promise to do my best to never let anger get the best of me. It may get the best of others, but that's their path. Because when Leo told him, get out of here, we don't need you, he felt like such crap after that. And you could tell. He's like, wow. He had Raphael as his own path, but Leo did feel a little guilty on that, to blame there, because maybe if he would have said something different, that may have not happened. So that always hits me. Donatello. This is also my favorite Donnie, because he can be a wise ass, but he also stands up for himself. This is one of the few times where, Raphael loses his side, Donnie tries to console him. Hey, it's okay. And Raph says, back off. And then Donnie, without missing a beat, shoves him right back. And I gotta say, for Donnie fans, that's one of my favorite Donnie moments. Not that he's fighting his brother, it's just he stands up for himself. Everyone's like, oh, he's the nerdy guy, which means he doesn't know how to fight. Bull crap, he's ready to go at a drop of a hat right there, Christian, in that spot. And then my last favorite, moments, I just like the camera angles, and all these, but just when you see Shredder get so pissed that his foot were defeated, pretty much. You see that camera, and he's following him, and you're like, where is he going? The first time you're watching this movie, he is fuming. Is he going to take it out on the foot soldier? No. Yeah, right in front of Splinter with that claw. And I still feel that when I watch that spot, man. Just a cheap shot among cheap shots. A defenseless rat in cuffs takes it and then puts the claws up to his neck. You will answer. Like, pretty much like almost choking him. You're getting stabbed right there in the neck. So, we could probably talk about this show for the whole entire run of this episode here, but those are just my points I wanted to point out. It's timeless. I'm happy the deleted ending was not the main ending. I like the celebration. I don't think that laugh was needed. Maybe if it was somewhere else, like the start of the second movie, it could have happened, but I didn't feel it was necessary. Voice acting was great. We've had Ken Scott on the show. Ken Scott did an awesome job. Pat Johnson, the fight choreographer. This dude's been in Bruce Lee movies. He fight choreographed Mortal Kombat, was the referee in the Karate Kid movie. Without him, who knows how good the fights would have been, because they were very detailed. Every turtle had a unique fighting style. And Christian, feel free to share your parting thoughts on this movie here. Take as long as you need.
Oh, dude, as you say, I could go on and on and on about this movie because there's just so much in it. And as I said, there's so much to discover in this movie. It's, as I said, the costumes are great. And it was never for me, when I was watching the movie, it was never for me like, okay, these are guys in costumes. No, these are the turtles. I never had a doubt that from the first moment that we see them on screen, these are the turtles. They are. I have no doubt. Like, oh, this is just costumes. No, they are real. Here they are real. And yeah, as I said, there's just so much going on. The humor is in there. I have fun with it. The action is incredible. But also the slower, the more emotional scenes. Like one of my favorite scenes in the movie is when Raph comes back from his fight with Casey Jones and talks to Splinter. This whole thing, I get teary eyed, and um, or like Shredder really is doing something in this movie. Is really a menace. Like not only when he confronts the turtles, but like the one scene when the like the one scene when the turtles escape and he's disappointed in Tatsu. Like the scene when he walks up to Tatsu and he just looks at him, doesn't say a word, and you feel like this tension there. This is just wow, it's just so good. And yeah, as I said, even the emotional scenes you get, they let them stand. They're not like how they do in modern movies or how they like to do in modern movies when there's like an emotional scene and someone cracks a joke. Like they have this emotional moment and they let it stand. And it's like the campfire scene. It's just so good, and there's nothing to complain about it. It's just, yeah, it is a masterpiece. It's incredible how they made it. It's like the comics came to life, and yeah, as you said, there's pretty much nothing to complain about it. It's yeah,
It's
also one of my all-time favorite movies ever.
It's pretty much like if I don't know if you're whether you take showers or bath. It's like the perfect temperature of water. Not too hot, not too cold. It's just right. You don't have to hit the knob. You don't have to wait a minute till it warms up or cools down. It just flows, and that's how I feel this movie is. Of course, maybe somebody would like to have one of their turtles, get a nick on Shredder instead of Splinter, but I felt it was great because we didn't really see Splinter in action that much as a kid. And it actually, well, besides the cartoon when he did those final battles. Two final thoughts, though, just for funsies here, because these are both regarding Raphael. How many times did it take you to realize that was Michelangelo, not Raphael, on the rooftop with that little voice change? Do you feel it was necessary they did that?
I think that was like, yeah,
I didn't
yeah,
catch that
yeah.
for years, dude. I didn't catch that till I was a teenager.
No.
Because of us with a VHS tape quality, it was good, but not like flawless. And you
Mhm.
just hear the voice, you just assume it's Raph. So that was my first question. And then the second one is Raphael the leader of the group? And I'll leave you with those two.
Yeah, that's oh boy. Partners in crime can listen to that forever. Like, I mean, I heard some interviews where they did, and they talked about like little kids coming up to them like, "You're wrong. Raphael is not the leader of the group." And it's like, "Yeah, sorry, we messed up." Yeah.
Oh God, yeah, those were the good old days. But yeah, do you feel it was necessary to put Raphael's voice there because they really wanted Mikey to be a caring dude? If you check out our good friend, a plug for our buddy Jeff Court, he actually has some really cool TMNT, like I call them artifacts from the movie. And there was actually a drawing of Michelangelo that he has that was not shown in the movie, like the little sketch, because April was doing sketches of all the turtles. And I liked seeing Mikey struggle. He was the one who took it harder than all of them. So I feel they should have kept Mikey's voice there. I think it would have brought a lot more shock value.
Yeah, and not only that, but also like from the comic book adaptation, we know that there are some scenes that also got cut that would have really showed how hurt Mikey was, because
Yes.
like there's one scene where he's in the barn and he's uh, punching the punching bag. I mean, we have a short scene of that, but like he really powers himself out and he like really goes crazy, like uh, how hard he takes it that Splinter is gone. And yeah, as you said, it would have totally worked if it was Mikey. Like he's the one who's uh, how it is a lot of the times that he's like the young brother and he's like he needs his father. And so if they would have kept it as Mikey, it would have totally worked. I think I know why they changed it, because like, Mikey, he's the funny one. He can't be serious or anything like this. But come on, Mikey is much more than that. He's a really deep character, and he would have deserved to be the one to scream for Splinter. So in my opinion, it would have totally worked for his character. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. And well, I'm interested to see where you rank this movie in your tier list. But without further ado, This is pretty much what we were talking about, what happens when something goes mainstream, because this movie kicked butt. Like Christian said, it was the top grossing independent film movie for a very, very, very long time. It just had a re-release in theaters. It actually did well. It's pretty crazy, but ticket prices are expensive now in theaters anyways. But I think it was one of the top movies the week it came out for their 35th anniversary not too long ago last year. So we got Turtle Power going strong. A big, not my parents, but some parents cried that the movie was too violent. So then, you know what you could have done? You brought up Batman 1989. Just stamp a PG-13 on it. Nothing wrong with that. They're teenagers. Make it a 13 movie. They could have done that because this movie a lot of us are more familiar with, just because again another age, our memory's a little bit smarter. And what was cool about this one was they had a preview too behind the shelves, so I actually got to see this before I saw the movie. And this is one that I'm sorry, it just didn't age as well. The Jim Henson Muppets saved the movie. It's still a lot of fun, of course. Mikey is still hilarious. We do have a new voice actor for Donatello who does okay. I prefer Corey Feldman. That's just like, if you like hot chocolate, do you like baby mallows or giant mallows? So I'm more of a Corey Feldman fan for Donnie. No Casey Jones. Bebop and Rocksteady for some reason didn't make the cut. I don't know if they just nobody wanted them. And Pat Johnson, I believe, was still helping with the movie, but they couldn't be as violent. And it felt more like the cartoon movie here. They went a little backwards. Still a lot of hype because without this movie, we would not have the infamous Go Ninja, Go Ninja, Go. We do have Kevin Clash still reprising his role as Splinter, which helps. Kino is probably the hero of the movie. I mean, Kino has some phenomenal action scenes. I still watch this movie. It's not a bad movie by any means. It's still very enjoyable. It's just not as strong as the first one. But Christian, feel free to share any movies, early memories you have of this movie, and then feel free to give us a synopsis of what happens in Secret of the Ooze. But before I get there, I do have one question in my notes. In the cartoon, they called it mutagen. I don't know this off the top of my head because you're more into the comics. Did they call it ooze in the original comics, or what did they call it? Because is this a new twist too? Was this the first time it was called ooze?
As far as I remember, yes.
Okay,
because in the comics, it was also called mutagen.
Okay, so this was a whole
it was
change.
something that the movie invented, yeah.
Okay. I guess it flows better, Secret of the Ooze, better than Secret of the Mutagen. But, feel free to share your memories here and a synopsis of the movie for us.
Yeah, this movie, to be honest, this was the movie that I was a little bit scared of as a kid. Why? Because of Tokka and Raza. I thought they were scary.
Yeah.
And I was one of those kids.
Yeah.
I mean, nowadays I look at them and they're like funny puppets, funny Muppets. But back then I was really scared. I didn't know the movie. I just saw some pictures of them and I thought that they were scary. If I would have seen the movie as a kid and when they came out and like mama, I would have okay, there's nothing to be scared about. But yeah. All right. Okay, let's get into the movie. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2: The Secret of the Ooze, which came out only 1 year later. They will really fast-track this one. So yeah, the story, the Turtles, they are now living at April's apartment because the Foot Clan knows where the lair was, and their turtles are looking for a new hideout. Meanwhile, Shredder comes back and he wants revenge, and for this he wants to create his own mutants, which he in the end does. By stealing some ooze and creating two mutants called Tokka and Raza, a snapping turtle and a wolf mutant. But because the head scientist of TGRI, who created the ooze, was tinkering a little bit with it, they are not smart. They are like babies, but very strong. So they get sent after the turtles. Like Raphael gets captured by the Foot Clan But there's also, like as you said, Kino, who is a pizza delivery guy who also knows martial arts, and he's helping the turtles. So the turtles go to the junkyard where the Foot Clan is to rescue Raphael. But there they run into Tokka and Raza and have some trouble with them. They rescue Professor Barry, and together they create some kind of retro mutagen to demutate Tokka and Raza. So they like confront the Shredder and the Foot Clan and Tokka and Raza, and there's the big finale fight at this club where Vanilla Ice is on stage doing the ninja rap. So there's like a big fight scene there, and they are able to demutate Tokka and Raza, but Shredder is not finished. He drinks the final vial of the ooze and turns into the Super Shredder. Then he has a fight with the turtles at the docks, and in the end, the whole dogs fall down on him and crush him. And yeah, that's pretty much the end of the Shredder and the end of the movie. But yeah, Splinter finds out about this, that the turtles were seen, and Ninja Rap is born, and then he punishes them. Go Ninja, go Ninja, go, and that's the end of the movie.
Yeah, and we talked about that when we reviewed Mutant Mayhem. See, they lie to Splinter in that movie, but he's unaware of it. He's very incompetent. But here, he lets them lie. Like, were you seen? He knew that they were going to BS him, and he called it right out. I love that spot right there, just like a good old dad or a parent. Like, you've been doing anything? No. Well, what's this? Uh-oh. So I like that spot. So Christian, what did you like about the movie? What didn't you like? And it's not like, again, we're not poo-pooing it. I'm so grateful for this movie. This is another reason why the Turtles are still talked about to this day because of Ninja Rap. But just, your own perspective now. You've seen a lot of Turtle stuff in your life. Where does it, well, we'll find out where it ranks among other Turtle stuff, but feel free to share your thoughts on this one.
Yeah, I enjoy this movie. To be honest, yeah, it's much more lighthearted than the first one, but still, it's entertaining. It's fun. The action is cool. The costumes are still great. Still done by Jim Henson's Creature Shop. I think Kido is a very fun character, and I'm still surprised that they did not do much with him after the movie. Um, what else? Yeah, Shredder is not as intimidating as he was in the first movie. Most of the time, he's just standing around and lets others do his job. And in the end, the turtles don't really defeat him. He pretty much defeats himself. But overall, yeah, it's a fun movie. I enjoy it. It's also like the first movie. It's a really quotable movie. The Yeehaw Ninja Cowboy, or stuff like this. You can use it, and yeah, it's of course it's not the same thing as the first one. I still wonder what would have happened if like they brought Steve Barron back and like did a movie in the same vein as the first movie. But yeah, that was out of the question. Like as you said, a lot of people like parents, they were complaining about the violence and the darkness of the first movie, so they had to make it much more cartoony. But as I said, the turtles, they are still fun. They are still the same characters. Enjoy them. Um, Oh yeah, one thing that I forgot to mention is that we have a new April here because now she's portrayed by Paige Turco, no longer Judy Folk, but she also does a very good job in my opinion. Um, but yeah, it's not the masterpiece that the first one is, but still, it's a fun movie. It's an entertaining movie. It's also a movie that I can enjoy. Like I've seen it so many times, but I always enjoy it. I have fun with it. So it's a cool Turtles movie. So it's good. It's good. I like it.
I'm pretty sure you'll be seeing it again if it gets re-released in your country. I've been told it's supposed to come out again in 2026 for their anniversary, and I'll definitely go see it in theaters. Couple other things to take away. The little 2-Raf still gets me to laugh this day. Mikey, like you say, with the Crunch Bar, and Raphael Zier. My dad still likes that spot. What else was there? So I think pretty much what you can sum this movie up is if you have a favorite comedy movie, I love Jim Carrey movies. This movie's going to make you laugh. That's pretty much where it is. That's where it goes from. Even Shredder, my dad, that was the other one. They are stupid. My dad always, just the way that the actor delivers that line, my dad still cracks up at that spot. Just, like I say, the action's still good. I mean, I'm sure it had to be very challenging for the team on this movie, too. It's like, we just put together this glorious movie that broke records, and now you want us to water this down? Like, are you freaking kidding me? I'm pretty sure some of them had to say it, so I'm sure that was very challenging. I think they even say that in the Behind the Shells, one of like the stuntmen, not Pat Johnson, he's in there, but somebody else like saying you're trying to make the fight like entertaining but not as violent. So like they show like, like Donatello uses random stuff. Michelangelo with the combat cold cuts. Donatello was everyone's favorite turtle in this movie too because he's the one who gets to use his weapon in a couple spots. At least. Mm-hmm. And what's funny, just again, when you're a kid and you see it and you get older, I always thought that Raphael Kino fight, for some reason, in my mind as a kid, I thought that was a 5-minute fight. And it ends up just being 30 seconds when he's at the junkyard with them. It's so short. I wish that could have been a little bit longer because that's probably the best brawl of the movie right there in regards to action. How about, have you seen because you see a lot, have you ever seen the honest trailers of this movie?
Yeah, of course.
Oh,
yeah.
That is just such. I think I don't get paid to say this, but anybody who's listening to this podcast, please go check out Honest Trailers, Turtles 2: Secret of the Ooze. They pretty much sum it up how I feel about the movie. They talk about no weapons, and as Christian mentioned earlier, watch Shredder do nothing and more of nothing. And that's pretty much what he does, and it sucks because if another great podcast out there, guys, is Epic Tales from the Sewers and Turtle Tracks. I believe both of them have had the actor of Shredder, and he wanted to fight. He was excited to be a part of the action scenes, and nothing. Thoughts too on this, because you've talked to Kevin Eastman before, and there were rumors that Jordan Perry was going to have a cool MCU kind of Marvel-like ending credit scene and reveal himself as an Utram. That would have made this movie so much better. Your thoughts on that take?
Oh yeah, that would have been totally interesting. I know why they didn't do it, because it would have pretty much confused people. Because back then most people didn't know who the Utroms were, but didn't know about Krang. Mm-hmm. So like when there was a scene like when Jordan Barry would have opened up his shirt and there was like an Utrom inside his stomach, people would have thought like, oh my God, it's Krang. He was evil all along, or something like this. It would have been just confusing. But if they would have like had this like, I don't know, like an after credit scene, and then it would have gone into the third movie or anything, like bring in the Utroms, bring in the Triceratons, something like this. This would have been glorious, like a little teaser for the next movie or anything. But yeah, it would have been totally interesting. But yeah, that's something that we never saw, unfortunately.
Yeah. Toka and Razor, it's funny how they people appreciate them. They've been in video games, a couple of them. They've been in the original cartoon. They've been in the newer cartoons. They've been around. So as dim-witted as they are, they still were pretty cool, and that's all thanks to Jim Henson's creations. If Jim Henson wasn't behind these Muppets, I don't think they would have still been talked to today. So why not Bebop and Rocksteady? Just because they were stubborn and they wanted to do their own thing, kind of like how Disney Disney-fies stuff? Like, what's your own opinion on no Bebop and Rocksteady?
Yeah, there's some different behind the scenes information that we get. Like some people say that Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird didn't want Bebop and Rocksteady because they want to separate the movies from the TV show. Others said like Playmates came into like, hey, we want to do different action figures, so bring in different mutants. Maybe that was the reason. Some say this, some say that. But yeah, I mean, Bebop and Rocksteady, they would have been different if they were in the movie. They couldn't have done it like this. I just hope that they wouldn't have turned it into babies. That would have been kind of strange. But so for Toka and Raza, it just works. That they are like, that they're so different. They're so characteristic, such different characters from Bebop and Rocksteady that they turned them into babies. And yeah, as you said, this the whole scene when they come out and Shredder's like they are stupid, and Professor Perry, they're not stupid, they're infants.
Yeah.
Okay, they're stupid infants.
Yeah. Oh yeah. What do you
Just
expect?
perfect.
They come out quoting Macbeth. I mean, there's again the writing is very good in the movie.
Yeah.
I enjoy the writing very much. It's still one I watch a couple times a year, not as much as the first one, and I'm still thankful the movie exists. I did remember seeing this in theater, but some funny spots here, just because I've seen this movie a zillion times. I wonder if you actually know this. So this is almost like a little bit of hidden trivia that not many people have seen. So if you've seen this movie as many times as I have, maybe you've noticed it or maybe not. There's that spot where they show Vanilla Ice. Now I knew who he was as a kid, but in the first like showings of this, you hear somebody say, "Whoa, gee," and now it's removed. It's been removed from a lot of the movies that have been released when they re-release it. Have you noticed that?
I cannot really
If you don't
say
know what I'm
that.
talking about, I will gladly try to find my VHS
I
tape
know
and show
the
you.
scene that you're talking about.
Because
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
a sound
but-
he used to make, like "whoa, gee," like freaking out, and they got rid of that. It's just like just random screaming now. I guess that happens when you have when you watch something too many times. But,
Yeah, but why would they remove it? It's not like something that's
Yeah.
a problematic term nowadays or something.
yeah.
Like,
I mean, unless he wanted his rights, I'm not. Maybe he didn't get paid for the voice acting part. I'm not sure, but it just was always very bizarre to me. Let's see. And how about for wrestling fans? Like, everyone's so hyped that Kevin Nash was Super Shredder. It's cool. Why not before he became Big Daddy Cool Diesel and, being the NWO? But what are your thoughts on that, too? Do you think... I'm surprised he never made a reprising role in a Turtle film.
yeah, he was totally impressive. I like the design of Super Shredder. I mean, why did his costume, his armor mutate with him? Well, we can argue about that,
Yeah.
but I like his design. He's really impressive in this scene. I just wish the Turtles would have fought him or anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, Kevin Nash really did a great job. And if you see like some behind the scenes photos of him in costume, he's a giant. He's really impressive, and it's really cool that they brought him in. I like Super Shredder here. I like his design.
Yeah, and he's another one. So that's why this movie lives on forever. There are tons of video games that revolve around Super Shredder, and without this, there was no Super Shredder. So the movie did do a lot of good stuff for our Turtleverse. What else is there? And it was always nice hearing Robbie Rist, and most of the voice actors came back too, which was very nice. For some reason, the Raphael one just keeps changing and changing and changing. And it's going to change again because now we're going to start talking about the third Turtle movie, which I like better than the second one. I'm one of those guys. Maybe because it's more revolved around Mikey, but in my opinion, before you break it down, we grew up with these guys, and you do see the evolution. Oh, real quick though. Leonardo, too much of a crybaby in the second movie. He's like an annoying He is not as good a leader as he is in the first one and the third one. And what I mean by that is, there's still a little bit more stuff to help it. Michelangelo, he just sounded too much of a crybaby in the second one. The third one, he's more like, they do what they want. He's more of the funny, sarcastic one, and he's more like, I love that line in the first movie because even Brian Toshi, we've talked about on the side. Hey, did she say pizza? He's more like a higher, light-spirited in the third one. And I really like his leadership in the third one where, compared to the second one. I had to get that out there, just feel better. It's off my chest now. But back to the third movie. I did see all three of these in theaters. This one, though, it's one of those, my dad was going to take us to see it. My dad was always a big fan of Saturday matinees, and I'd probably be the same if I had kids, just because it's save a couple bucks, you can get a bigger bowl of popcorn. Save that $5 for a discounted price. And I had a fever that day, Christian. I was not feeling good. I'm like, no, Dad, we gotta go. He's like, all right, we'll go. And miraculously, I felt good for the whole movie, and then felt like crap afterwards. But the weird thing that stands out about this, for some reason, I don't know why, I always just wanted to sit in the front row. I never did it. I know I'll never do it again, but I wanted to try it just for one movie. And that's what we did for this one. That's another reason why it sticks out. So just a random question. Have you ever sat in the front row of a theater before? By choice.
Actually, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Which one?
yeah. I've been, and it's I cannot say which movie it was,
Okay.
but I mean I just remember one where I was not in the front row, but I was very close, like in the third row or anything, or maybe fourth row. So I was pretty close uh, to the movie, and that I remember that was the movie Van Helsing, if you remember that one with Hugh Jackman.
Oh, yes. Yes, yes, yes.
And yeah, and the movie sometimes gets really loud, and it was becoming really annoying to be so close to it. Um, so yeah, it's not something that I like to do by choice. I always like in the middle of the theater. It's always better. So yeah,
Yeah.
but you're really lucky that you were able to see all three movies in the theater. Oh, it's I mean, as we talked about before, we over here we didn't even get the 35th anniversary re-release that would have really made my year, but we didn't
Oh,
even get
man. So you're
that
not gonna
one.
get. So you're not gonna get this one either. Then. Darn. Okay.
I fear not, and it makes me really sad because, come on, just this movie in theater with the right crowd. There's nothing better, I think.
Yeah. Absolutely. So feel free to explain Turtles 3 for us, and you can share who comes back, some good stuff there. A voice actor returns, which I was very happy with, and feel free to share your thoughts of Turtles 3 and a little quick synopsis breakdown.
First off, gotta say, Turtles 3. As a kid, when I was a kid, it was my favorite of the three. Because as a kid, I always liked more the light-hearted adventures. So this was the movie that I can watch over and over again, where I don't, how should I put it, don't have to like concentrate too much on it. Like when we have the first movie, there's like a lot of emotional investment in it. And with the third movie, it's just a fun adventure. So yeah, that's put it on. I watch it over and over again. So yeah, as a kid, it was my favorite one. But to this day, I agree that the third movie is really not a bad movie. Like some people say it is, but it's really not. Yes, we lost a Jim Henson Creature Shop. You can see that the costumes are not as good as they were. But still, in my opinion, the third movie has like a better story than the second movie, because the second movie is mostly like Shredder creates mutants and wants to get revenge. That's it. The third movie has a much bigger story, like characters who get introduced, who get a storyline. As you said, is really more of a focus on Michelangelo, because this whole thing with Mitsu and finally feeling like he is somewhere where he can be respected, where he can live freely. This whole thing, like Mikey wants to belong, it really is in this movie, and this I really like about this movie. So yeah, and but still, it's fun. It's really different. I mean, why they went with the time travel story for the third movie, I'm not sure about this. Like when I think about the Turtles, it's of course they do time travel, like with Renette and so on and so forth. But when I think about the Turtles, it's like street level ninja stuff. And the next level is not time travel, but in my opinion, the next level is science fiction, where they go to space or anything. So, but I guess that would have been too, I don't know, expensive showing turtles in space or anything. So, I don't know. They went with the time travel story. But as I said, in my opinion, not a bad movie. I really enjoy it to this day. I have fun with it. All right, so a quick rundown of the movie. Um, yeah, so the turtles, they are living in the new lair, which is like at this old subway station. Uh, April brings them some presents, including a weird scepter for Splinter, which turns out to be a time scepter, which gets activated, and April gets zapped back to feudal Japan, while a warlord's son gets brought to modern New York. So the turtles, they travel also back in time to save April, which they do, but they get caught in this war between this warlord, Lord Norinaga, and the rebels. And the turtles, yeah, they want to help the rebels, and Lord Norinaga is teaming up with this this pirate trader dude called Walker, and yeah, who's like playing his own game. Yeah, in modern time, meanwhile, Casey is brought back and he's like babysitting the samurai guys, while the turtles have the adventure in feudal Japan, where in the end they, as I said, they team up with Mitsu and the rebels to infiltrate the castle to to get Mitsu out, who got captured. Okay, that was a little bit confusing how I how I said that. Anyway, they have like this big fight in the end with Lord Norinaga and the castle guards and the samurais and Walker, who gets killed in the end, and then they are able to travel back to their own time. And yeah, everything turns out fine in the end. Turtles are back in their time, and yeah, they are just happy to be back again.
Yep. And that's Turtles 3 for you guys. So Corey Feldman returns as Donatello, big plus for me. Casey Jones. Now the actor, I don't know if that was the deal, but it's like, hey, you're gonna be an actor, you're gonna be Wit on the other side here. So it's like, Elias, you're still gonna be able to have some fun. You just can't do it with long hair. So he was still able to have his action scenes. What I like too is I didn't really care for Paige Turco in Turtles 2. She felt more like a damsel in distress. In Turtles 3, she seems a little more whiny, but she can handle herself. And I liked it because she's like, I've had enough. And even she strikes one of the, in that fight at the beach scene there. Big ups to that writing. That was a great spot for April, for Paige Turco to have her ninja moment there. So I was very happy for her. Like we said, weapon usage was there. This movie gets me more emotionally invested too. It's you can actually relate to this. Some people, Raphael gets kind of ticked off where he's like, hey, he wants people to appreciate him, and they don't. Like he says in the beginning of the movie, day after day, we're doing this for what? And then they have an opportunity to right some wrongs out in feudal Japan. They're starting to appreciate them more, and that's why Raph does. It's interesting too, Christian, because they didn't want to go back. I mean, were you shocked? None of them, except for Donatello, wanted to go back. And I still got to ask you this. This is going to be a weird question because I just don't understand the writing dialogue here. So even Leonardo says well, actually, I'd like to stay here. And then when Donatello says, do you think I could possibly live without a single microchip? Is he talking about the technology, or is he talking about his brothers as micro dudes? Because to me, it seems like he wants his brothers to go back home with him.
Yeah, but I always thought it was like he needs his technology because he's the tinkerer, he's the smart one. He needs his computers. He cannot live without them. That's always how I thought it was meant.
Okay. Very good. Yeah, I wanted some clarification on that spot because that part still confused me. I always like Mikey in this movie too, just because it's almost like when you break up with someone and it's like he'll always be with you, Michelangelo. And he's like, ugh. I just feel so bad for him. He just he doesn't. I don't even think he wants to date. He just wants to be friends. I mean, maybe he wanted more. Who knows? But I felt really bad that he wasn't able to, have that connection with Mitsu anymore. I don't know if they'd be. It would have actually been pretty cool if they threw this in there, as if Splinter was teaching Mikey. They don't really do this in that era, but now movies are different. You always have these scenes sometimes that pop up during the credits. I think it would have been really cool if Mikey's like, hey, Splinter, how do I connect with someone in a different realm? And he sits down with Mikey, and he actually gets to connect with Mitsu through a meditation. I think that would have been great. A great, great ad, with these little ending credit scenes. Other spots, I apologize. I don't know who voices Splinter anymore. Kevin Clash is really missed here, in my opinion. The actor did okay, but just again, I preferred Kevin Clash. He was in the first two, but I think he kind of came along with the Henson tag, which is why he wasn't there. Brian Toshi, like we said earlier, phenomenal job voicing Leo in the third one. He's just more relaxed and a bit more don't want to say cocky, but he just knew like what to do. I just feel he's more present. He's not whiny. That's just the way I felt for Leo in this one. Raph's doing Raph, but I like how they let him, it's almost like the 2003 cartoon where he connects with the little kid. I always like when they have Raphael, Mr. Anger, connect with the kids just to show you, hey, at the end of the day, he's still a good guy. We all have anger sometimes. We get a little upset, but at the end of the day, he cares for people. And I always like that. Now, was it just, like in your own opinion, Christian, why did they call the kid Yoshi? Were you expecting something more with Hamato Yoshi? Because I sure as heck was.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That always confused me. Why is the little kid called Yoshi? I always thought like he was like an ancestor to Hamato Yoshi or anything, but they never went there. I mean, it's the same thing with Wit. Is he an ancestor to Casey because they just look the same?
Oh yeah.
Or it's just coincidence? We never find out. I mean, there are some things that are just left hanging there, like the mysterious scrolls with the turtle kappa from way back, like legend of the. Maybe they will go back to further in time or anything later, and there's just some mystery here that you just have to fill in the blanks for yourself, I guess. But yeah, the thing with Yoshi always confused me.
Yep. And one final spot. I really enjoy the action in this movie. I think it's great. The Turtles really don't lose, but I was happy Lord Noranaga at least gave Leo somewhat of a battle because everything else just felt kind of too easy. Yep. One other spot is, there were rumors they were going to do a fourth movie with this era. It never happened. What I feel is when you watch the ending credits, next time you watch them, I just want you to pay attention to see if you get what I get here. Because at the end of the movie, before they start doing the dancing, you see Leo in like a hand gesture, kind of like almost like a bow. And to me, that was always the send-off. I don't think it was intended that way, but that's just the way I take it. Do you know what I'm talking about? Where at the end of the movie, he does like almost like a salute. Next time you see the movie, it's where
I don't have it in front of me.
Okay.
But I'm gonna check it out next time. I try to concentrate on it.
Yeah, I'll even just look for outside of the video. It's right, before you hear the Corey Feldman, get down with our turtle selves. It's almost like Leo does like a thanks, like almost like an encore bow. So that was my way of of them saying goodbye, because that was the beginning of the end of Turtle Mania. Like we were talking, we've done the Archie comics, everything started going a little bit downhill. People were getting more into Power Rangers and Batman the Animated Series and X-Men, and Turtles were starting to become a little less mainstream popular. So that is the three. Now comes the fun. So Christian and I, with his help, we decided we're going to do a tier ranking list of every single Turtle movie out there. Now, I'm going to pull up a tier list on the video part of the portion here for you guys to see. We do not consider, according to this one we're using on Tier Maker, they have Blast from To the Past, but me and Christian do not feel I don't feel that's a movie. So we have 10 that we're going to break down. We're going to go backwards from number 10 to number 1. The reason I'm leading off is because we're saving the best for last. I'm really interested to hear Christian, because Christian loves all Turtles. And this is, like we said in before when we ranked other tier lists, this is like, who is your favorite kid out of the 10? He's like, why are you making me do this again, man? So
yeah,
it's going to be hopefully it's not as painful as pulling teeth. I always feel these are fun. I know a lot of listeners like these because, again, these are all very debatable. This is just our opinion. There's no personal attacks here. It's just we like something, we don't like something. That's how it is with everything. That's how it is with sports teams, video games, video brands, pizza toppings, all that good stuff. So without further ado, here is how I break down the 10. Number 10, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. It just still doesn't click with me. I'm sure everyone's like, what? You're choosing Michael Bay over this movie? Have you gone mad, sir? How do you have a Ninja Turtle podcast? It just doesn't click with me. Again, out of the 10 here. Now, I'm not saying the second movie might be better, because the second movie may improve. We talked Tales of the Turtles, and I like the second season better. But for me personally, this movie just doesn't do anything for me. It's not when we're talking about the other Turtle movies. And it's very weird because it was very tough to do, but I had to. Number 9, Teenage Mutant Ninja Aliens. Turtles. I'm sorry. Who said aliens out there?
I think someone did say aliens back then.
Yeah, so this is Michael Bay's at number 9. Now, I liked, there are a couple things to like. They were still, the Splinter was very good in this movie. You could still feel the Wise, Sensei a little deeper. They did do a little bit more hiding. It gets kind of crazy that they're freaking bulletproof. That they're shooting them and they're bulletproof. I didn't care for that at all. Johnny Knoxville as Leo, not bad, but they just get Mikey wrong. How he creepily talks to April. And Will Arnett's a funny dude, too. For him to be Vern and not really be funny, just, I didn't get that, too. There's that one spot that always bugs me where Raph calls him a huge nerd, and he's like, I've never been called a nerd in my life or something like that. And it's like, yeah, he's Will Arnett. He's a cool dude. It's like, what are you doing here? So that line was kind of dope, but that falls in at number 9. Number 8 is... it wasn't really too hard, but the second Bay movie, a lot of us, and I'm sure Christian's going to talk about it too, we love Bebop and Rocksteady in this movie. Diehard, passionate Turtle fans, Michael Bay universe, thank you for the Bebop and Rocksteady. Those are the Bebop and Rocksteady we wanted, and Christian makes a good point. They may not have been as good in Secret of the Ooze as they were in this movie. If we were going to, if I'm comparing Toka and Razor to the Bebop and Rocksteady here, I'm going with Bebop and Rocksteady in the Bayverse over Toka and Razor, if I had to choose between those. Not the whole movie, just that little spot there. Coming in at number 7 is going to be a little bit of a shock value here, but I am going with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, Secret of the Ooze. It's more of a laugh. It's a fun movie, but again, we're comparing it to all the others, and it just doesn't hit me in all the feels. Like I say, I want to feel all the emotions when I'm watching movies, and this one is good, but just not good enough when we're talking top tier. Number 6. Now we're starting to get into the what goes where. This one was tough. My 5 and 6 can kind of be different here, but number 6 is Rise of the Ninja Turtles, the movie. Dude, I had so much fun with this. This helps put Rise as a good franchise for me, like a good part of the Turtleverse, just because you get all the feels. We get Casey Jones. We get struggle. There's mistakes that are made by the Turtles. We get to care about these guys. It's a believable final battle. It's an excellent movie. I know there's a lot of hardcore Turtle fans out there that are my age, and they just pretty much, if they were doing this tier ranking, they would say, I like the first one, the second one, Turtles Forever, okay, and maybe TMNT, and that's it. But you guys, do yourself a favor. Next time you have some free time, pop on Rise of the Turtles, the movie. It's a great movie. All right, number 5. This is where it gets a little bit trickier here. We are going to go with the Turtles Forever. And the reason Turtles Forever is lower on here is, boy, Peter Laird had fun poking fun at our Turtles, man, from 87 in here. They are just so dim-witted, and I've said it to you before, and it will sound like a broken record. Mikey cannot lift a manhole cover. That is why this is number 5 instead of number 4 on my list. Mikey, for some reason, is just a big pudgy dude who can't even lift a manhole cover. Besides that, though, when you look at this movie as a whole, it's a bittersweet ending because, like we talked about in our podcast before on Shellonomics here, this was the end of an era. Very wholesome. You get to feel all the feels because we get the delicious voice actor of Shredder from the 2003 show here. The comedic spot where this is the lamest of all vehicles where they make fun of the turtle blimp. My buddy and I still laugh at that to this very day. You get Turtle Prime, the Mirage Turtles in a comic, atmosphere was great. That's number 5. Number 4, now it's starting to get tougher and tougher, is Batman Ninja Turtles. Dude, what more can be said about this? We get Easter eggs that are treats for us diehard fans. We get a damn good Michelangelo. We get everybody, and it's got to be challenging for people to make not only the comics, because the comics you have more time with. Christian and I have broken down those a lot more. You get 5, 6 issues for those. But here, you only have a good 90 minutes. How do you have, Mr. Freeze, Poison Ivy, the Joker, Bane, the list goes on, Penguin, and they all have a great fulfilling role. It's just so well done. I'm kind of upset that this is not talked about more. I hope one day we get a sequel because there's a really kick-ass ending credit with the Joker in there, and there were 2 more Batman Ninja Turtles specials, not counting the animated 2012 show. But that's my number 4. Number 3 is Turtles 3. We talked about it. I get all the feels here. I feel bad for Mikey. I just like the tone of this movie. It's Christian has a good description for it. Very lighthearted. You can kick back and watch this any day. I love the comedy. I love the serious tone. I like the weapon usage. And even if you watch these documentaries, I believe, I could be wrong here, and please feel free to fact check me with comments, but I'm pretty sure Kevin Eastman said in the Turtle Power documentary, Turtles 1 was a step in the right direction, Turtles 2 was a step back, and Turtles 3 was getting it back on that neutral path. And that's what I feel Turtles 3 did. It's a shame we never can get a 4th one, but you get Corey Feldman back as Donatello, Robbie Riss, Brian Toshi, excellent voice actors, excellent fight battles. I love Mitsu in that movie too. She's great. They just, like Christian said, re-release these movies in 4K, and Mitsu has an awesome interview that I encourage all fans to check out, because there's something that I didn't know about this horse, and I'm going to leave it at that because I want you guys to figure that out for itself. And now here comes Alpha and Omega, and it's just, there's one that just still is top, but dude, Turtles TMNT 2007 is just where it's at. And what's great is this movie, again, came out in 2007. That puts me at around 23, 24 years of age. And I love it, and I felt like I was a kid watching that movie. It brought back all the good feels of what being a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fan is for me. You get jokes, you get action, you get life lessons, you get anger, and you get unity, and just everything that a movie deserves. And of course, it's gonna be Christian. You might do it to be stubborn, which I'm fine with. But and like you always say too, guys, this may change on a future day. And I appreciate you being quiet as I'm breaking down the rest of my list here. But number 1, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1990. There's really nothing more to say. Even just looking at it now, just all the heads coming out of the sewer. You get the grit. You get the lovely and kick-ass Judith Hoag, which is a shame that she was only in, one movie, because she just did a phenomenal job with April. We bragged about this movie for half the podcast already in the first 30 minutes. Not much more to say, but that is my tier ranking list. So one more time for those who are not on YouTube and you're on Spotify, I'll repeat. Mutant Mayhem, Michael Bay number 1, Michael Bay number 2, Turtles 2, Secret of the Ooze, Rise of the Turtles, Turtles Forever, Batman TMNT, Turtles 3, TMNT 2007, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1990 at number 1. So Christian, the floor is yours. Take all the time you need to provide reasons why certain ones are above certain rankings, and have at it. We've got you here, and I'm going to build the tier list as you start talking.
Well, as I said last time, this is really hard for me. I love watching people doing tier lists. I enjoy it, but doing it myself, it's always so hard. I mean, with the movies, the first and the last was the easiest. But then in the middle of it, like, you had to mix them up. And as you said, like, if you ask me, like, next week, I would make a different list. For now, for today, it's the following. Your list pretty good. Some really valid arguments that you had there. But mine is it's funny because some things are very similar, but some things are completely different.
Nice.
So buckle up. Okay, number 10 is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from 2014. Yes, the first Michael Bay produced movie. And I can say that straight away. I don't think that any of these movies are bad movies. But the 2014 movie is the one that I have the most problems with. It has great action. There are some cool action scenes in there. I enjoy it. There are some funny things in there. But I have the most problems with it because there's so much changing about the turtles. Most of the characters they get right, even though the designs of the turtles you have really, it takes some time to get used to it. Um, and other stuff like, as you said, like the turtles being bulletproof. Like I was sitting in a theater, I was like, okay, that's a bit much. Or being that there's like super strong, like, yeah, it's different. But yeah, still, it's an enjoyable movie. But yeah, it's the one that I have the most problems with. So, number nine is, even though I said that it's, in my opinion, not a bad movie, and I stand by that point, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3 from 1993. It's an entertaining movie, it's a fun movie. The costumes, but the costumes are not as good as they were. And even though I said that I think that the story is better, the turtles, they are throughout the movies, throughout the original trilogy, they became more goofy and more cartoony. And here it is very much like this. There are not much emotional scenes, even though, yes, we have them, but most of the time they're just goofing around, just cracking jokes and not taking anything serious. Uh, which, as I said, it's a light-hearted adventure. I can enjoy it. But as a movie, as a TMT movie, it's number nine for me. So, number eight is for me Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze. Once again, it's cool. I like it. I have fun with it. But just like when you have the first movie and then you come to the second movie, which is so much more lighthearted, so much more brighter, the turtles don't get to use the weapons much and stuff like this. And yeah, as I said, as a movie, it's, in my opinion, number eight. For number seven is yeah, I don't know if it is a shocker, but it's Turtles Forever. I love Turtles Forever. It's cool. It's like this was the end of an era. This was the end of the 2009. It was of the 2003 show, and it was the end of an era. Like it came out in 2009, and then Peter Laird sold the Turtles to Viacom Nickelodeon. So it's like this last big hooray. And for this, it's really cool. It's really great. The whole multiverse story, the turtles crossing over with themselves, and in the end, going to the black and white universe. It was like amazing. It blew my mind back then. Um, but yeah, there are also some things that I'm not so sure about, like the original Turtles not getting their original voice actors, or that the Turtles, they, an 87 cartoon Turtles, they were like really juvenile in this movie. I mean, if you've seen the classic cartoon, it's not that far off, but still, they were really making fun of the classic cartoon. Um, but it's great. It back then it was amazing. It blew me away. Um, but yeah, there was also some problematic stuff for me. But then we go to number six, which is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows, their second Michael Bay produced movie, which was such a big step up from the first one. As you also said, like Bebop and Rocksteady, they are so good in this movie. And they, with this, they really found the way to do it right, to do this universe right. With the first movie, they were so unsure. They took some parts from the cartoons, they took some parts from the comics, and the second movie, Out of the Shadows, it's a straight up cartoon adaptation. We get Bebop and Rocksteady, we get Krang, we get the Technodrome, we get Baxter Stockman, and it's such a fun movie. I really enjoy it, and yeah, that's and it's so sad that we never got a third movie. To be honest, I really think it's sad that we didn't get a third movie, because when you look at the second movie, you really get the feeling, okay, they're now getting somewhere. They now got their groove. So yeah, but that's never happened. Number five is Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the movie. It's It just looks so good. It's so cool. It's so good. It's funny, but it gets really emotional, especially at the end. Like the whole thing with Leonardo fighting the Krang, and the action is great. The animation is great. It's so like there's some scenes that like come straight out of an anime. It's just I love it. It's really a great send off for these turtles, and I don't think it could have been any better. Number four is Batman versus Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, a movie that I'm still amazed that it even got made. I mean, just Batman and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in an animated movie. It's so good, as you also said, Mike. There are so many Easter eggs in there, so much callbacks for us turtle fans, so much, but also for Batman fans, all these characters that get in there, and it's such a fun movie. I mean, just Mikey fangirling about all of the things that happen in Gotham City. It's so entertaining. It's so cool. And yes, I also hope to this day that we will get a sequel someday because it really deserves. It's just so cool. Number three, we get into the big three now. So number three, that's where very different because number three is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem for me because I love the art style. I think that the turtles, they are really, I feel for these turtles. They are really get the feeling they're still so young. They want to belong there. And the whole thing with Splinter on one side and Superfly on the other side, like they're two sides of the same coin. Splinter was protecting the turtles with love, while on the other hand, we have Superfly who wants to get revenge on people for what happened to him because they are outsiders. They're both outsiders, but they go all through it different. I think there's some cool action scenes, some great action scenes in this, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to the second movie where this is going. Yeah, that's number three. So, number two is TMNT from 2007. It's just a very good Turtles movie. It's the story is not an adaptation of anything. The bad guys, they are new, but the whole thing, the turtle characters, how they interact with each other and how they are shown. And I gotta say, the movie is from 2007, and I still think that the CGI looks good. It's not top notch nowadays, but it still looks good. And yeah, I mean, it through this movie we got one of the coolest, most memorable TMNT scenes ever. The big fight between Rev and Leo. And yeah, this is just a very, very good Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. So, number one, no surprise there. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from 1990. And I think anything else would have been a big surprise. What can we say that we didn't say before? It's it's just perfect. It's a masterpiece. It's a perfect amalgamation of the comics, of the cartoon. They really brought it together. And it's I don't know if we will ever get a better Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie that really gets the characters, that really understands the source material, that really has a laugh for it, and there's so much heart in it. And yeah, it's just number one, and everything else would have been I don't know, would have been a surprise or would have been even I gotta say wrong. It would have been wrong
Yeah.
to put any TMT in any other TMT movie on the top spot. So yeah, I guess these are my top 10 for today.
All right, so a quick recap, guys, for Christian. Number 10, Michael Bay. Number 1, Turtles 3, Turtles 2, Turtles Forever, Turtles Out of the Shadows, Rise of the Turtles, Batman TMNT, Mutant Mayhem, TMNT 2007, and Turtles 1990. Yeah, it's what I love about Turtles 1990 is I haven't met anybody who doesn't think that's the top. We and you have been around the Turtles a long time, a long, long time. Now, maybe some kids because they haven't seen it, but most Turtle fans, it's really hard to argue that that's not number one. So, dude, I had fun with this list, and kudos to you and others who really enjoy Mutant Mayhem because there's just so much life to that franchise. Like you say, another movie's on the way. Maybe the Tales will come back. It'd be nice. Like you said, maybe they'll be like, "Oop, we were kidding." Hey, Family Guy came back. King of the Hill came back. There's tons of TV shows that come back. So, if the fans want it, it's possible. Oh, dude, this was so much fun. Thank you again for picking your brain. Hopefully, it wasn't that painful. Like every time you're writing down the list. But, dude, this was a lot of fun. So, guys, we have covered every Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, and we've got a little treat for you guys. Because, Christian is always the comic guy on Turtles there. But if you guys want to know more about the first movie, he actually did an interview with somebody from that movie. Christian, feel free to share that if anybody has not heard that one yet. And where can they find it?
Yeah, if you really want more turtle stuff in your life, check out my podcast, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Talk, where, as you said, was also able to interview Aisha Wax, who was known as being the bubblegum girl from the first movie. And yeah, this I can say, such a lovely person. It was great fun to talk to her. So check out that episode, and when you're around, check out TMNT The Talk on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or just go to the website tmnttalk.com, and maybe you'll find some other stuff that's interesting to you on this podcast. So yeah, feel free to come over, check it out, and yeah, then maybe join the social media stuff. It's all there on the website. Just check it out, and then hey, maybe we'll see you around.
Absolutely, my dude. Well, another huge chapter covered in TMNT nostalgia. Brother, we hope to see you again real soon. Thanks so much for your time today. This was great, Christian.
Yeah, it was a blast as always, even though, as I said, it's these tier lists, they're hard for me. They're hard for me. But yeah, it's just fun. It's fun.